video off right here. You're gonna need these for the job. These are special pliers, special, call them what you want. They're special tools. So as you squeeze, boom, see the ridges? So there's a lock ring in here that you gotta spread out and then push that input shaft out. So what I'm gonna do is spread them out, put a wire tie to hold it open and push it out. But if you didn't guess it yet, we're doing a transfer case swap. And when I say swap, we are going to be swapping out from this transfer case. We're putting this bad boy in it. Input shaft out of the manual 4L80 so that I can use this transfer case in that truck, which will also allow me to use my drive shaft out of the truck that's, I'm already using. So it'll save me some money, even though I already have a brand new one. But so anyway, we separated it, taking all the bolts out. I have a spare one here, so I put all the bolts and all the brackets where they go and pulled it apart. So now I got it to this stage. And like I said, now I'm in here and I got to do a little bit of prying in here. This is where we're at. I'm going to try to put the camera up somewhere so you can see when I start taking apart. Again, this is the electronic transfer case. Took apart a manual off the back of a 4L80. We're going to use the input shaft so that input shaft goes into the back of the 4L80 we're using. Talked about the transfer case. I took all the bolts out all the way around. My next big project is the snap ring that's right in here. I went and pulled the seal out already. The best seal puller you can get is the better one. In here, pull it out. I use a screwdriver, which I'm gonna have to sand this because I got a little scuff there. But that's life, right? So, wrap this bad boy up. All right. So now, it's fun when you're by yourself, but we're gonna see if we can do it. Of course, that's gonna twist. So the snap ring in here is a pain
backside.
Because where it's at and how it's at. So what you really want to be able to do is open it up and push. Maybe these will work better because they got little nipples, like little indentations. See if that works better for me. Yep, there you go. Look at that. We're learning. I'm learning something wrong with you. So that snap ring is now pretty much out. So now, whatever I take off this transfer case, I'm gonna need to put back on. But just to make sure, before I get too far ahead of myself, this input shaft is the same as far as this, because if not, I gotta find one that I took off the other one. And it looks like the lock's on there pretty good. So as a demonstration, you're gonna grab it, boom, pull it out. These are nice, really little indents. This is a Snap-on SR5 PC made in the USA, and they're really nice. Them little, that's a big help right there. All right, so now these aren't mine, so I'm gonna try to take care of this kit a little more than I would my own stuff, as you should do with anything in life. We got that one out. That's a start. That was a... Now, this should be able to separate a little farther, because now that's going to push out. Actually, let me get a dead blow hammer. Big brother and little brother there. So, see how that's pushed in really easy. I like that. I got these. These are our. All right. So the next one we got to pop out. Same idea. I'm gonna try the same ones because I like these. The little indents. So this bad boy is down in here. So you got to actually grab this one, open it up. Hopefully got another person, or there you go. See that? See that move? That moved that snap ring off of the gear. happened to have one we ripped apart already. So what I just did, in here there's a rubber, first of all you gotta pull the rubber grommet out. First of all you gotta pull this rubber grommet out, that goes there. So just to show you what I'm doing here, if you look down in there, there's a spring clip that opens up like so. Here it is right here actually. And it goes around that for some reason. All right, so I'm a dingbat. Gotta take these two sensors out. One here, one there. All right, now that we all saw I was an idiot there, now it gets interesting because I swear there was a snap ring on here that held something in, but not on this one. So I gotta do some figuring out. But like I said, I took them two sensors out of the housing, and they come in the housing here, and the other one must be farther up top. Either way, that's what held me up, believe it or not. That sensor going in there and that sensor going in there, one of them was touching, and that was our problem. So as soon as I did that, it came out nice and easy. This video is so I can see where everything is and where it goes and how it comes apart. I don't need to have to be stuck. I don't know what the hell that is, but that's fine. You don't want that down there on the... Anyway, some give there. Oh, you know what? It's when these only get sealed with sealant, which is weird, but what are you gonna do? But we bought this add-on piece to keep it from vibrating through, and it came with this for sealing the case together. It's really good stuff. This kit I got on Amazon. I think it was like like 60 or 70 bucks. So we're at this point now. We got to break it down a little more because the shaft we need is all the way up here. We need that out, and that is that shaft right there. So I just made a couple marks. I cleaned it up real good. I tried to see if I could get anything to line up, but I couldn't. So what I did was I made my own marks and just basically marked the chain with the gear, the chain with the gear. As long as they line up, and I marked the top of the shaft up and the top of the gear up, and the top of the pump, sorry. Just the way I know, try to keep it in line that way. All right, so now we're gonna come out with the pump a little, or the pump side a little bit, just to walk the chain off. I thought I was gonna walk the chain off. Felt like it was walking the chain off. Maybe I gotta work on the side more. I need it off this side. I watch all these guys on YouTube and they got all these fancy tools, fancy stuff I don't have. Now look at it. It doesn't have a front and back. Oh yeah, guys, it's a stopper. The end tooth of the chain is a stopper actually. There's like a shield to it. See, on the other one it was just a clip here that took this off. So I might have a clip on the front side. But I'm trying not to do all that madness. I'm barely out of my realm here, so we don't want to go too crazy. I'm going to take my foot resting against it, and I'm working the chain around. Clean that tight, loose. Hey, comment if you've done this and you know what I'm doing wrong. But it's off. I'm gonna take the chain off and we're just gonna lay it down just where it is, right there. We'll pick it back up. And we're gonna rotate these both so they're up. So the chain is up again. Where it goes, where it goes, where it goes, we're up. Oh, everything's up. I want everything to be up. I don't need to mess with this side. I'm leaving this side totally alone. This is the side I need to mess with. The pump is down here. Pickup for the pump is down here above the magnet. I'm going to slide this whole shaft out now. Or maybe I'm not. It feels like maybe the clutch packs don't want to come out or something. No, there it goes. So I literally just walked that out like that. I'm not messing with any clutch packs or nothing at the moment. I'm going to have to do some figuring out. There's a notch that goes down. What the heck? I don't know where that lines up. Okay, this flipper just obviously flips. Alright. So the fun thing is that transfer case that I took apart already is totally different from this one. So we're gonna make sure we take a lot of pictures and video. So we just slid that out. And it came out like nice and easy. And again, I'm just sliding it out and leaving it in place. I'm gonna move the crap off the table. Sorry. And move the case backwards. And just literally move the case backwards. And I'll work everything out that way. So it looks like this Allen key and that Allen key on the bottom hold that daggone thing in. And I need that out because I need this output shaft out. So now we've got to take out both of these, obviously. So they're H12. Of course, my gun's gonna act up while I'm working. That pin comes at the top. See, it's got an O-ring and all. Might put a new O-ring on that just for shits and giggles down there. Actually, looks like top pin out. We're just gonna flip it and do the same thing for the bottom pin. I'm not gonna video that point. Just so you know, all I did literally after taking the top and the bottom pin out, I literally slid this out and dropped it on the table exactly how I found it. And then I did the same thing with this. Slid this out and dropped it on the table exactly how I found it. So they're out of the way. Next thing we're gonna do is get out that. And by doing that, I believe we're gonna tap on it with a hammer. Almost that seems to be holding something up. Hopefully you can see this. Got my hand in there and I'm just holding it. Lightly tapping, lightly tapping. We're gonna find out if this is legit and this is all we have to do because it's what everybody online told me I gotta do. We're here now. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab this output shaft and I'm gonna see if it fits through that bearing sloppy. Nope. It does, it fits in there smooth. Don't know if it does deep enough, but we'll find out, I guess, right? Everything looks the same. So now, you're gonna take a screwdriver, real simple. This is one of the easier clips to take out. You're literally gonna take a screwdriver here, like so, and pry it out. And this one, believe it or not, I'll be able to do one-handed. Boom, there you go. So, take this. My hands are slippery. I got one hand, we're on camera. Oh, there it went, there it goes. Take that, flip it over. We're gonna flip it right back in place in a second. And this should just pull out. And it did. Oh, that walked away from us, we saw that though. This looks different. This does not look good. Yep, this is different. We got plate. Nope, no, it's the same. All right, I lied. Oh, we're gonna put this baby back in. That's gonna go right back down in there. And if you see, it's got little ridges. We'll slide that right back down in there. Now, oh shit, which one's which? Now I'm just kidding, the bigger one is obviously the 80. We're gonna take this bad boy, slide it right on in there and hope the gears are the same and hope it waddles in there. What do you think, people? Oh, look at that, love. Look at that. And twist that, and we should be able to flip this right back in place. And I can't do both, so I'm gonna go off camera and put this clip in. That's it. Just an FYI, I don't know if they're different, but I took these two plates that were on this one. It was actually like that. I took them off and I swapped them into here. That one has an E on it. This one doesn't have anything on it. Let's see if there's an E on this side. No, it has an E also. Maybe they're the same, maybe I'm not, but I had them on backwards. So I flipped them in, I put the new clip in. What I'm actually thinking now, it's too late now, but I'm pretty sure that I could have put this whole, we're saving this because my buddy's got full drive trucks, so we're gonna give, or he has a manual, he has called plow trucks and he uses parts. So I had them upside down, but I'm pretty sure I could have just took this whole unit and stuck it in there. And they're both, the gears look beautiful. But anyway, we're going back together now. So I'm gonna get a rag and wipe all this off. But I'm gonna literally just slide it back in there. So I'll video. Why not? Here we go. We got the door. We're calling this the door cam. It's sitting on a magnet on the door. I'll show you next time I rotate. I'll take a picture and show you. I'm going through gloves like a madman, trying to be clean, because you know it's a transfer case. It's constantly motion in there, so you don't want no dirt in there. Here comes the fun part. You know? Not being a trans builder, none of this stuff is every day to me. So here we go. Wipe this off just because I saw a little gunk on it. I mean, it can't hurt to just wipe it off. There's always metal on it. Smooth, it runs smooth. Make sure you rotate a couple times and make sure it's good. Hopefully nothing lines up with that. I'm just kidding. So here's our true tell. I got a flat spot. This has a flat spot. All right. So while we're here, let's make sure this bearing's 100%. There's no play in that bearing, because if it did, it's just a clip in there to take it out. But got my hand on the other side. I'm holding it as I'm rotating it in place. And I'm holding it. Pretty sure she's gonna need a little love. Can't tell if that came out any. I guess I can actually tell. Came out some. I needed to come out I needed to come out enough that I could put that snap ring back on. Otherwise, it doesn't work this way. But we think it does. We were told it was. We're going with it does. So here we go again. You like that? And it appears that either it's right there or it's got to come out a little bit more. Pretty sure it's right there. So now we're going back to our snap ring. All the way over here. Remember, this was the first thing I took out. And remember, wipe it off, get any, you know, anybody grab. We're coming over here with these circle ones. I like the circle ones. So got the little 2 little half moons cut out of it. And we're just literally sticking it back in. And hopefully like I think I just heard, went back in all the way. So maybe not. Oh, there it goes. So that's in and locked in. Just show you, as you know, seeing is believing. No scam here. That's in and locked in. See that? So that part wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. So if you were just swapping that out because you're doing the 4L60 conversion, this is basically going into the 4L60 or 4L80 transmission. I needed that to mate up with the transmission. And this is the stock 272 out of this truck. I did a transfer case last year just because the trains, when I had them both, I did it. But now that's going to mate the 2 of them together. That'll slide in, lock up, be good to go there. All I got to do is order this seal, which I don't have them kind of made. I have a bunch of other seals. But anyway, we're that far. Now, if we were done, like if we just literally were doing that, we'd be done. But we're adding this. We're adding this to the pump. And what it does is it locks the pump in tighter to that housing. When I say tighter, these things like to wear through here. Believe it or not, I haven't seen too many of these with the clip that's actually intact. And mine was actually intact. But we're taking that, putting that plate in and replace all that, I believe. So now what we're doing, we got to get this pump off. In case you didn't know it, that's the pump. That literally pumps, sucks it from here up through the system, and it pumps oil everywhere. So to get that off, of course, we got another one of these daggone snap rings. My buddy actually does work on those Harleys, and that's why he has these pliers. But this one shouldn't be too hard because of where it's at. I can get to the edge and whatnot. So I'm gonna go like this. Sneaky screwdriver behind it as soon as it's out far enough. Or there you go. We're off. Well, we're partly off. Keep that out. So if you see any of these bearings with any kind of wear marks or anything you don't like, what are we going to do? We're going to replace them. Why? Because we're in here, and who goes in here ever? Nobody. Ain't that a punk? So I got to take this thing all the way off. So whatever. Here we go. Them other ones are better for this, but we're here anyway. These work. got that clip off. Now, what's going to come off next? Of course, the bearing. Gotta remember how all this goes, because it goes back together. So boom, look how I'm doing this. I'm just sticking literally, boom. None of these have any crazy marks or anything, so I'm pretty sure that they're just feed in and go. I don't see no dimples or any scratches or anything that I don't like. Next, now there's a little spring clip here. Remember, don't lose the spring clip. Now see this rotates, so that doesn't have a bearing either. So, I mean not a bearing, I'm sorry, it doesn't have a, that just pushes in, we just pulled it out. But ease this off, ease this off, ease this off. Boom. What I'm saying is don't lose this little spring clip. It goes in front of this. This is your pump. Look, it's crazy, it's nuts, but there it is. It's all it is, nothing special. So that came off that way. That clip goes there. This goes on top, so we're face it down. Just want to give you a closer look at all that. It's probably someone just doesn't sell a brand new pump with that thing built on already, but here we go. All right, so I don't know why I didn't think of it, but I can stick this back in everything. Stick everything back in, I should say. Oh. So I should have done that already. I'm gonna do that right now. So again, how do we come about? We came out this first, and this is gonna rotate in. Sorry about that. And then take your rod, and that's the next thing you're gonna want to stick in place, because you got to get the rod to line up in the back. So obviously I need that to rotate up. Back on it. It's funny enough, but I need to. Wish I had the shifter hooked up, I guess, huh? I need to shift up, as funny as that sounds. Oh, here we go. I'm turning the shaft and wiggling, and it's kind of moving up, but not enough. Not enough. Okay, bear with me while I get a pair of channel locks or something. There we go. Now I'm going to try to shift the shifter by hand. I don't see why not. The electric motor turns it on. So why I can't turn it by hand. There you go. So you see how I'm shifting it by hand? Did that help me or hurt me? Let's see. Well, it didn't help me. That's all right. There we go. These are the days I wish I had a cameraman. One of these days we'll be rich and famous and a cameraman. So now that I have the pin all the way started through, this wasn't through, and that's when as it comes back, the spring pops it off to the side. Any of this silicone you see in here, any of that, get it out. It's just going to clog the pump. All right, so now we're going in one more. Let's try this again. Let's try this again. I'm sure there's some magic, easy way to do this, but me being just the parts replacement specialist I am, and not a mechanic. Oh yeah, I didn't tell you guys that. I'm not a mechanic. I'm a parts replacement specialist. So I need to get that shifter in place a little bit better. All right, shifter in place. Pin should be going in any second now. There it goes. Pin's in. All right, all that hard stuff's done. And now, how do we have this? Just like this. So we're gonna double check, because I think it was like this. No. Let's see. See, this is why I love video, because I got video and it's there no matter what. So I'm gonna look at my video, but just by looking at that, how it's sitting, I know that it's this way. But I'm still gonna look back at my video after I put these in. To me, this looked like a bigger dowel pin. When I say that, I mean the top one. The top one looked like it looks bigger. Anyway, You can wipe a little silicone on here if you like. I'm about to. And then stick that in. And that'll line up and do the same on the bottom. I'm going to go off screen, change my gloves, wipe the 2 pins down, get some silicone for them, and come back. This is just a quickie to show you what I'm doing. So I wipe these off real good. I take some black RTV, and I'm just tracing this O-ring. I don't need any reason for this transfer case to leak. All right, and take your finger and just basically make sure it's in that seal. And then I'm literally gonna just stick it in the transfer case. All right, like I said, I wasn't gonna show you me putting them in, but see, I got a nice bead around it. And this thing's smooth. Look. As that moves, it pushes out here and it pushes on this right here. So that's we're good to go there. So we got that running smooth, wiped it down, but reason I want to show you this. So here's where the magnet is. Obviously it's aluminum, so it's not magnetic to it. So the aluminum magnet just sits there. And the pump filter sits right on top, the suction, right on top of that. So we're gonna pull this out, wipe the crap out of it, spray it down, get all the metal out of here we can. We're also wiping down everywhere we can. I don't particularly want to spray anything in here. I was going to spray Bake Clean and clean the living snap out of it. But in my head, if I spray Bake Clean in and I get it in these bearings and I don't get it all out, it could eat that bearing up. So I'm confident that we don't have to do that. So we're just going to wipe it down. It's off the picture. But, I'm trying to get as much back together so nothing's sitting on the bench, because I actually have to work on another car for a friend of mine. So I'm not messing with the clutch packs. I'm not messing with none of this. Everything seems intact. Everything's in there. I don't see any chunks of metal in the bottom of the thing with the bearing. What in the Sam hell Elliot is that? I don't know. There's a little crazy thing in the bottom of here. Some kind of pin to hold something in. But we're going in next. And you'll see this guy. Obviously, it can't go to the bottom and it can't go to the top because it'll hit here and here. Just to show you, I might grab this side. Yeah, see, it's not letting me go in all the way. So you gotta rotate that so it's facing this way in order to go all the way in. Pretty sure I'm all the way in there now. All right. So there's our chain. I'm glad I'm doing this with everything off that way. So we got our marks. There's our marks. Got our marks on there, and there's our marks. So we know that the one on the left is stable. We can't adjust that. There's no play. I don't think this chain matters, honestly, now that I'm looking at it. It's not like a timing chain and nothing's going to line up. So you're literally spinning gear. But there you go. We're on that side. And I'm going to come over and line this up on this side. And then I'm going to work the hell out of it to get it on, I guess. Oh, we're off the tooth. There we go. We might actually just rotate this puppy on. Hey, look. If it gives me too much resistance, I'm not going to do it because I don't want to screw nothing up. But I'm going to have these forward so that when I rotate it, this tooth drops over the front like it's supposed to. She's on, and she's off a damn tooth. Let's see, let's rotate them up. Oh, we're off a bunch of teeth. Both sides skipped. There is 3 markers, so I want to play it safe, and I want to work to get it right how I took it apart. So bear with me. I probably won't show you this, me doing this 7 million times, but there we go. We're back off. Line this gear up first with our marks. White on white triangle. And we're going to try to come over here and line this one up. I was going to wipe the damn mark off. Now there it goes. for that one over there, Steve. Clutch. Look at that. See the clutch working there? All right, we're looking good over here. The reason I could do this is because this shaft has play. All right, let's see. Now let's rotate it back up. Come off one tooth on this one. I want it on perfect how it came off, so I'm gonna fight myself off and on until I get it. I'll get it. I don't know how that one came off one tooth. Oh, you know I did it. The clutch. Remember I said the clutch slipped. We watched the clutch. We watched the clutch slip. Maybe I go backwards with it this way. Let's go back up top of this one so we have our mark on that one. Make sure we're there. You know what? I'm going to go back a tooth. When I say back a tooth, I'm actually going to put this back one tooth. Because for some reason it didn't seem to want to go on. It keeps going off one tooth, so see what happens when we start back a tooth. Sometimes I do it with tongue belts. And look, it worked itself right in there. Let's see if the other side's good. All right, so look, we're back. Top, and when we get to the pump's gonna be top too, remember. So they're facing up, that's all good, that's in. I'm just hoping that thing didn't come out in there. Shame I can't tell. We'll know when I go to go together and if it doesn't fit. I'm far back. I know I'm in there. I have confidence I'm in there. All right, on to the pump. Pump's the next thing in line. Also, clean this puppy out pretty good. I'm actually impressed. The only thing in there is a couple bit of RTV, so that's a good thing. But you definitely want to clean this out. Just some spray cleaner in this and then air it out. Because if it's clogged, there's no point. I actually might take the airline and run through it. Believe it or not, you take the flashlight, you go like this, and you can see it's got nothing inside. That's good. We're going to clean it. We're going to wipe it down anyway. But see, it's a mesh on both sides. That's a plus. It's all plus on both sides. For this, we're just going to blow through it. All right, so the zoom hurt us on that. Sorry. But what I was showing you is this going in. All right, so I didn't show you guys this 100%. I forgot. But it's real simple. If you need me to show you how to do this, I mean, it's not that hard. Take out the 6 Phillips heads. I had to use this actually. Give it a little light tap, and it came right out. And just change the cover. That's all it is. It's one of the sides of the pump. And see how it has the long ears? That doesn't. It's flat. So that locks in. That's all we're doing. All right, now we're going back on. It's got to line up the gears, obviously. And it's going to sit right on that, it's going to sit all the way back on that C-clip. Or whatever you call it, the clip. Yeah, that thing. All right, so now we got that back in. Next thing we get is our little spring clippy thing, bobber. There you go, huh? Yep. All the way in. And then the gear. Just make sure number. I don't see anything different. Just a struggle. Just give her a little love tap in. That's all. I mean, hopefully it's in the right spot, right? It's kind of tight. I don't remember being that tight going on. There you go. Now it's spring loading off our little springy in there. All right, and the bearing. If this bearing's on wrong, you're gonna regret it. Oh, let's wipe that bearing off because it looks ugly. Of course, this got to be etched too. Camera angle's off a little, but we're there. And then last but not least, our clippy. Let's get our fancy fucking $1 pliers that thank God Ray had. Otherwise, we wouldn't been able to do. Fuck. Wow, why does that look? No, that's pretty good there. Oh, man down. Man down. Why is that a little tight like that? I don't like that. But let's see that. So, there it goes. Top of the clip in. Oh, the bottom doesn't want to go in. That's funny. So I got the new input shaft seal, and here's the part number in case you're looking for it. I got this from my local Church's Auto Parts. Wasn't expensive at all. But anyway, give it a little lube. It comes pre-greased. Give it a little grease and then slide it down over it, and then get a socket. Or I actually used a piece of my front end kit. It fits perfect on it. There it is, matter of fact. And I just lightly tapped it in, and it should sit flush. I might have went a little far. We're good though. It sits flush. And then come over and get your silicone, your sealant, whatever you're using. We got this fancy stuff that came with our kit. Supposedly like the best stuff on earth. RTV 4500. It's from Silabond. 100% silicone. Blah, blah, blah. And we put a nice little layer on here. And then we put a real thin layer, wiped it around on there. Now we're just going to stick it together. And the only thing you need special for this job is your friends. These guys. Because you got to go in here. Oh, it's upside down, of course, right? You got to go in here and open this up. And I just put all the sealant on the counter. Great. Go in here and open this up while sticking it down in place. And everything's going to stick to it. Yeah, look at that. Every glove, everything on the counter. Anyway, good thing it was a light coat. Just give it a little smooth over. Watch it. Oh, yeah. Oh. We're going on. All right. Get yourself a 5-gallon bucket. Stick it in a 5-gallon bucket. Sits nicely. And then we're going to go to town. Well, actually, we're going to move our camera angle to the fridge. Camera angle to the fridge. Oh. Too much weight for it, huh? Oh, man, come on. That's all right. That's all right, because the door's right here. Quiet. You like me now. And I can see the camera angle. Or can I? Where the heck is it at? It's over there. It's over there. All right. Gotta move into view. We're gonna run up the camera real quick, but it's real easy. Real easy. It says everybody never. So, get this bad boy in your hand. Get this spring, because this is the most pain in the butt spring on the planet. Open it up. You look inside and see it's wide open. And then come down over top. You'll have 2 dowels. I don't get why this clip keeps moving out of my way. In my way. But you get the idea. Fun part is in this clip. So we're going to come down. So we're almost in place. Put a little light in there. And I grabbed the wrong pliers again. Why are you being such a bastard? And we appear to be in. Hopefully it went down. There it goes. Hopefully we're still recording. So you got to get that in there. See that? Got to get that locked in. And then, if you're handicapped, you shouldn't be watching. Put the rest of the bolts back in. And I had mine over here, so I know which one goes where. I'm not going to videotape that. Do that. get them all close and then snug them up in a figure 8 style pattern. I guess I forgot to show this, but there you go. That's our seal. Last seal. I'm not gonna lie to you, I forget which one it was. It's either this or this. I want to say it's the 7. This is it. It's the 7109-496. Because the other one's this. It's a totally different seal. This is for like an older transmission or something. But anyway. That was the last thing we had to do. We sealed it up. Every bolt in. And just snug a little bit. And then obviously I put the 2 sensors back in. And we're good to go. It's hardening up overnight. Let it seal. Plenty of time. This way, by the time I go to put it in a day or a couple days, she'll be back on the road with the 4L80. That video I will also be adding. I'll be converting from a 4L60 to a 4L80. And the reason we did what we just did was so that we could accept this into that trans. I'm sorry, in that transfer case. So we had to swap out this. This obviously is not going to fit this shaft. So that's what we did. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe for some more handy, helpful hints.